Alright, on this hiking trip I took the Supertree Loop. It's called the Supertree Loop. You'll also see it referred to on the video as Supertree Trail, but on my map, my actual topographical map, it says Supertree Loop. Um, this was a very confusing hike, to say the least. But I don't want to throw a lot of blame on the Uwharrie, um, as a whole, because at the trailhead, if you look here on the map, if you follow my mouse here, right here on the trailhead, there's a map, a big map that they have, and I saw it on the end of the trip where they had added certain details about the trail that's not on my topographical map here. And so, in a nutshell, what I did is right here where Wood Run Road is, I started here and I went up Wood Run Road, and right where it says camp at, there is a that right there is actually where the trail begins, and it follows right along here. Now that's the way the topographical map has it. Very simple, very easy. It crosses over the Dutchman's Creek Trail twice, and then it ties right back into Wood Run Road, and my plan was to take that and then come right back. But there is, when you take this, when you actually get on Supertree Loop or Supertree Trail and you take it, it looks like a road. I heard one guy refer to it as a double trail. Basically, it's a road. It would be great for like a four-wheeler. They could really allow four-wheelers to come down that. But in a nutshell, most of this trail is that road. I mean, it literally is nothing more than just like a, if you wanted to take a four-wheeler road or something like that. Some of it's a little tight, some of it's a little bit more hazardous, but you could just about drive an SUV through this thing. But then it goes, like right in this area here, it goes back to a small trail, but then the road keeps going, and I don't know if it just loops around and comes back in. It appears to be that's what it does. And so if you're ever taking this particular trail, just take note that this road is going to intersect with this trail off and on through the whole thing. I think 75% of this trail is a road. But right in here is where I got all turned around, and you'll see it on the video. But that road intersects with this. I think it comes right somewhere in here where my mouse is. Somewhere in here, that road comes around. It comes around and then ties back in to the trail, and then it intersects with the with Wood Run Road up in this area. And so somehow or another that it does loop around. Now, one of the PDF maps that the Uwharrie has, it shows the gravel roads, and from what I understand, none of them are named, and so the only one that I know that's named is Wood Run Road. Now, I may be mistaken, but the map that I saw on the PDF, I went on their site and looked it up. It shows that. And so what I'll do is I'll put a link down below for those of you that want to look at that map, and you can check out that map. It'll say like Uwharrie hikes or Uwharrie backpacking hikes. The Uwharrie website is pretty detailed, but you'll know the map when you see it. I just like the topographical map. I like the way they got these particular trails laid out, and for the most part, they're right on the money. But again, that is pretty much what I intended on doing. And when I scaled it out, measured it, it's about 6.8 miles. But with all the backtracking that I did, again, you'll see that on the video. ended up being probably about 7 miles, maybe even a little more than 7 miles, 7-mile hike. But some little points of interest is, if you'll look right there where that arrow went, that's Wood Run Hunt Camp. You'll see that. That's about 1.5 miles into Wood Run Road. And right in that same area is where the trailhead for Supertree Trail enters in. It's that same little area. You'll know it because you'll see a little outhouse, a little bathroom that you can use. Right in that same area is where the Supertree Trail, Supertree Loop starts at. And again, it is a road. It is a road that will tie into a regular trail, and then it goes back to a road again, and it does that throughout the entire trail. And then at the end, you have this little junction here that you'll end the Supertree Loop, and then the Uwharrie Trail is literally right across from it. So look at my mouse here. Here's Supertree. Uwharrie Trail is right there. So right where I'm taking the picture at, in this particular picture here, I'm standing on the trail for the Supertree, and it's again, it's nothing more than a road. Like here, this picture down here, that's the trail, and it's nothing more than just a great big road, is what it is. And it's not paved or anything like that. Some of it's dirt, most of it's just dirt, and so that they've just cleared out. And then, but at any rate, up here, it just jumped. Here's Wood Run Road here, and then Supertree, and then right across from it is the Uwharrie Trail. And that Uwharrie Trail goes all the way up to where I like to backpack in. My little favorite spot that I've talked about on my other videos. Now the Uwharrie Trail, I've also seen another entrance here. They don't have it on this topographical map. It's not here. I don't know if it comes up. It says to the Uwharrie, so probably is what happens is that it probably comes up and connects here, and so the Uwharrie Trail probably kind of connects with the Uwharrie Trail. That's the only thing I'm thinking. What I'm thinking about doing is just making that a day hike one day, and just taking that hike and just seeing where it goes. That may be my next day hike that I take. And whenever I don't have a good whole day that I can give it, like this one here, it rained. And as you can see me up here, that was at the end of the hike. The last hour and a half of the hike ended up raining on me. And so I was expecting it, though. I started real early in the morning, as you'll see on the video. And but overall, this is a good day hike. You could do it. It could be a half a day. I'd make it a good half a day hike. I think I got right on the trail around 6:30, and I finished up, I'm going to guesstimate around 12:30, maybe close to 1 o'clock, maybe somewhere in that area there. I want to say about 12:30 is probably more correct, and 12:31ish. And but that was like I said, a good half a day hike, and taking periodic breaks and stuff like that. I didn't take a good long break, but overall, I just wanted to show you on the map before you saw it on the video. And the Supertree blazes is blue. If you look up here on the top right hand corner, that's what you'll want to look for. These here are blue. And so I did notice on the Uwharrie Trail, theirs is blue also. I don't know if it's a different shade. Again, a future video, we'll check that out, and we'll see what that is. That'll be another little adventure we'll take. And but again, guys, I hope you enjoy the video, and let's go ahead and get started with it. Hey guys, it's Donnie. Believe it or not, this is not the end of a hike, but the beginning. I am about 20-25 minutes away from the Uwharrie trailhead, and I'm planning on taking the Wood Run Road starting point, and then I'm going to cut in at the Supertree Loop, and I'm going to come back out on Wood Run and then take it back down to the the parking lot. I scaled it last night, and it's looking at right at 6.8 miles, and so not a bad hike. And but it's supposed to rain around noon today, and so I got to get an early start. And but I really should have plenty of time to do the hike and take a good break. And so, but if it does sneak up on me and rain, I'm prepared for that. And so, you know, I'm going to hike anyway. And so I these past couple weekends, well, last weekend and this weekend and the next weekend, are calling for pretty much bad weather, wouldn't you know it? And so that's just the way it is. And so, I got to just take what I can get, rain or shine sometimes. But like I said, it should be a good hike. But I've never done this trail before. I've done around it. I've been in the area around it, but I've never done this particular trail. And so we'll just start early and we'll get done early. Alrighty, see you on the trail. I got my flashlight to light the car up a little bit. This is still morning. This is still morning. It is dark. It is a dark day. But it's almost 6:30 in the morning. I'm really surprised it's not any more daylight it is, but it is calling for rain, so probably getting an overcast that's blocking the daylight. But I almost got hit. Coming in the turning into the trailhead here. I tell you, people are in so much of a hurry these days. I had my turn signal on, and I was actually had started getting over in the other lane, and here comes this car passing about 3 or 4 of us at one time. And he almost hit me on the driver's side. I almost had to stop the whole trip because of somebody that was in a big hurry. And so I got lucky. The Lord was looking after me. And but at any rate, I think I'm going to just wait here until it gets a little bit daylight. I'm really tempted to putting on my headlamp on and just starting on the trail. There's a few cars in the parking lot, and one of them, and I'm not for sure or not, but somebody may be sleeping in the thing. There's a lot of condensation on the windows, so it's a possibility I've got somebody sleeping in the parking lot. And so that's the only bad thing about the Uwharrie is, at least in this part, 2427 trailhead, there's nobody really to monitor who comes in and who comes out. You don't have to sign in and say how long you're stating or anything like that. I wish they would start doing that. At least they can monitor who's in the parking lot and who comes in and who comes out. And so just for safety measures. But I am packing. I got my Glock with me, Glock 9mm, and I got that with me on my side. And so, you know, again, safety first. This is a different day in which we live in. But hopefully I can get on the trail here soon, and I'd like to get a good start. If I start the trail and just walk 6 miles without stopping, which I've done before. The last trip I took, I did 8 miles with only taking about a 10-minute break, which is not smart. And I ended up paying for it with a pain on my left side of my IT band. Got aggravated on my left leg, and so, but I've been doing a lot of exercises and try to strengthen that leg up, and that's the weak side of me. And but we're going to hopefully get a good hike today in. And but like I said, I got plenty of time. But if I just walked it straight through, I would be able to do it in about 3.5 hours. And so I average about 2 miles every hour, and that's moderate hiking grounds. And so like I said, I don't know what this trail is like, though I know the area. The Dutchman's Creek Trail crosses over it.
I think 2 times. And so, and I've been on the Dutchman's Creek Trail several times. And so, but at any rate, hopefully we can get on the trail here and within the next 30 minutes, okay? Okay. Not sure if you can see me or not real good, but it's daylight enough for me to walk on the road. I've got my headlamp on. I don't want to put a glare on the camera, but I'll go ahead and turn it on. As you can see, I'll turn it to the side a little bit. Now I'm looking stylish with my headlamp to the side, but I'm gonna go ahead and put my headlamp on just in case I need to see something on the road. But I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Again, there's a few cars out in the parking lot here, but I think if I don't get started here, it's going to put me later getting back, and I may be hiking in rain, and I do not want to do that, even though I got a poncho with me that will cover me and my day pack. And so, but let's go ahead and get started, and hopefully we'll have ourselves a good hike today. All right, and you'll be able to see a good trail, a good new trail. Just for the heck of it, I thought I'd show what it's like for me to have the headlamp on. As you can see, pretty much everywhere I turn my head, of course I've got daylight out here, but this I got a black diamond headlamp, and this thing is outstanding. And you'll be, I mean, if it was darker, it'd be almost like I'd almost have just as much light as a headlight on a car. But there's the Wood Run Camp sign, and it's saying it's 1.5 miles ahead. But I've got this on my forehead just in case I hear something in the road, and I just need to click it on and give me a little extra vision. Or if I get to the Supertree trailhead and I need some more light in the woods, and so, but hopefully the daylighter keep on getting it. It's lightening up even as I speak, and so, but just wanted to show you this. Now here's something I really, either they just put it up or I never really paid attention to it. Wood Run Trail. Now on my topographical map, it's not even showing this trail at all whatsoever. The first trail I come up on is the Supertree. And so, I don't know. It may be on another map that I have, or, you know, my map is old, so, unless they've updated the map. And so I'm not really for sure. This may be something I'll have to check out in the future. It looks like it's possible it goes this way. I don't know what color the blazes are on the tree. I don't see any colors at all. I don't know if this is a trail in the making. I'm not really for sure. And so I'll just have to make a note of this and maybe check it out in the future. But it does say that you can ride a bicycle and you can hike, and that's it. And it tells you the trailhead. That's good that they did that. I mean, it's real good that they mark them like that, and they tell you if you want to go to the trailhead, you want to go this way. But it does look like it's wide enough for bicycles, and so like I said, I'm gonna have to check this out in the future. Alrighty, here we go. One of my biggest pet peeves: trash. Here I am in this gorgeous, beautiful area, this beautiful national forest, all the way around, just enough for the eye to behold and enjoy. And then somebody changes a baby's diaper and leaves the diaper. I am to the point now where I'm thinking about, and I had thought about it, bringing a trash bag with me and just start collecting as I'm going. maybe become, I don't know, maybe like a trail angel or something. I don't feel like I should have to do that. But, you know, we're on a road here. I mean, come on. The trailhead is not far from here. I mean, you're driving. They could be down at the trailhead in about 10 minutes. Less than that, really. And they won't take their baby's diaper with them? I don't understand that. I don't understand that one bit. But maybe a ranger will see it and pick it up. And so it's the first trash that I've seen so far. But that really irritates me when I see people do that. Okay, this area here is called Wood Run Hunt Camp. That building down there is an outhouse. You can use the restroom, the facilities. And so I've seen, last time I was here doing a solo backpack trip, this place was hopping. There was people all over this area riding bicycles and all that type of stuff. But they were also camping out in those woods there. And there's a trail marker here. Is this, oh, this is Wood Run Trail. Okay. Wood Run Trail. That may be that other one that I saw. It may be just a loop. I've been by this I don't know how many times in the past, and so maybe I've never really paid attention to it. But evidently that trail that I showed you before, it looks like it just ties in here. Maybe it's just a big loop. If I'd have known that, I would have taken that instead of walking on this road here. I didn't realize that. I'll have to remember that next time. And so I learned something too here. But again, I guess they allow people to drive down here and just park here, and then you can maybe hike in from here. I don't know. But there is if you're walking down through here, there's I'll just walk to it. And there's a restroom. Men and women, handicap, accessible. Right here. And this is the Uwharrie Trail. The Uwharrie Trail. If you remember on the 12-mile hike, I showed you that. This right here would actually take you up. It would take you real near that one place that I solo backpacked in. And that little high elevation, that real high hill. It says to Uwharrie Trail, which is true. This actually junctions right into the Uwharrie Trail. Now on my topographical map, it doesn't show that. It shows the Uwharrie Trail stopping before it gets to the Uwharrie Trail, but it does in fact tie into that. And from what I'm gathering here, the blazes on that is blue. It's blue. And so, interesting. Okay, I just thought I'd point that out. That's not where I'm going. I'm going to the Supertree Loop. And so let's see if we can find that. Here we go. Actually, I was right here at it. There's that restroom facilities. And so this is like a big junction where you can park and kind of split off in different directions. Wood Run Road just keeps right on going up. And this right here is the Supertree Trail. I call it the Supertree Loop. or Supertree. I don't know, it may be still called a Supertree Trail Loop or something like that. Anyway, it does loop around. And the blazes are blue also. And so I guess that could get a little confusing because the Uwharrie Trail, it showed that being blue. And so you gotta, I guess, know your trail, you know the one that you're starting off on. And so this one here is saying you can bike ride and hike, though the trail seems to start off as big enough you can get a car down it. And so, but we're going to take that and we're going to loop right back around and get on the Wood Run Road, and then we're going to come back this way. Well, I decided to take a little breather. I'm going to tell you right now, I have no idea if I'm on the Supertree Trail or not. They don't have it marked well if I am. Since I've seen that first blue paint on that trailhead marker, there was maybe 2 other trees that I saw it on. And for those of you that's seen my other videos, you know, usually those blazes, they'll have them like every, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 trees or more. Usually they'll have that paint on it. And this one here, it's like every quarter mile. I mean, I think that's about where they put a paint at. And I haven't seen one in a while. And this is a road. I don't know why they just allow just hiking and bike riding. I mean, you could drive a car through here. It'd be a rough ride, but with an SUV, you could do it. Maybe 4-wheelers. It'd be a nice little 4-wheeler ride. But it is a neat area. You know, if they call it Supertree, I guess maybe it's because of all these gigantic trees out here. Maybe that's the reason why they call it Supertree. Look at these bad boys. They are way up there. Huge. Tall trees. I mean, there's a bunch of them out here. I have no idea if that's the reason or not. But it's quiet. It's beautiful. Be a nice little place to pitch a tent. It's gorgeous though. But it's turning out to be quite a gorgeous day. I know the clouds are coming. But so far, I see blue sky mixed with clouds. But there is blue sky with sunshine. And so I'm glad I came. It is extremely warmer than what we usually have at this time of year. I think the weatherman showed it was nearly, I think Sunday's supposed to be over 20 degrees. I think it's supposed to be darn near 74, 75 degrees come tomorrow. And so that's extremely warm. And he said the normal temperatures usually are right around 55, 57 degrees for this time of year. So we're almost at a record breaker. And, but at any rate, as far as my backpack, I know my 12-mile hike, I didn't really detail it as well as I did, as well as I should have. I was in so much of a hurry to get back before dark, but I got my Camelback bladder in here. It's full. I haven't even drinking any water yet. And then I've got the hose that comes out of that. Now right here is a quick connect. This is the shut-on valve, shut-off valve. It keeps the, just keeps it from running out. If there was a leak or something like that, which I've never had. But this is a quick connect, quick release. I push that button and this part pops right out. And the reason I did that is because I had a hiker give me a tip that what he does is when he filters water out of a creek, he puts a quick connect onto his hose and he pumps the water in through the hose without having to open the bladder up. I thought that was real neat. And so I've never had to do it. I could have done it on the 12-mile hike because I did run out of water. But I do have my Katydin hiker with me. I don't have any fear of running out of water today. It's just not going to be that strenuous of a hike, it looks like. But that's what that is. That actually can come off, and I can hook my Katydin hiker to it and just pump the water right in. And so, but other than that, I did bring my Nalgene, or it's called a REI Co-op 32 ounce. And the reason I bought this is because of the small neck on it. I like that, and I like the measurements on the side. Now, normally I don't take this with me. Usually if I'm doing like a backpack, solo backpack in, and it's going to be a long time before I get to my camp, I would bring this because I'm going to need that water. I don't take bladders and put them in my backpack whenever I backpack overnight, because I've heard of horror stories where bladders have leaked because of all the pressure that was on the bag. And so what I've been doing is I've been taking my tent poles and putting it in the bladder, where the bladder goes in my backpack, so I don't have to put it on the side of my pack. And it works very well, very well. And I also have, I put my maps sometimes, or extra books and stuff like that. I'll slip it in that sleeve in the backpack that I go overnight trips with. And so, but I did bring this today because I didn't know what to expect on the hike today. And so I wanted to make sure that this right here is specifically for my tea or coffee that I have. If I decide to take a break for a while, or a couple breaks, I don't have to worry about getting the water that I'm drinking for that. Usually what I do, though, if it's going to be a short hike and I don't need a whole bunch of water, I just turn this on, and then I'll squeeze right here, and that water will drain right out of the bag into the stove pot, and then I'll heat it up. That's usually what I do. And but I decided to just be cautious on this time, and I just brought some extra water with me, and plus just to make the hike a little bit more strenuous for me, for exercise reasons, keep me good, trained right. Because I do intend on doing that figure 8 if I get enough days in a row. And so, I'm going to be carrying close to 50 pounds of weight on my back, and I'll be hiking 8 miles in the first time, and then camping, and then I'll do, almost the next day about the same amount. And then the last day will be about 4 miles out from there. But other than that, I've got my Katydin hiker on the bottom, and then I got my stove. I got my hammock. Hopefully I can take a nice little break today and use my hammock out here. There's lots of good trees you could put a hammock on. And so, but I got that, and then I got my stove. I did not bring any food to eat an actual lunch, because I do plan on being out of here by hopefully 12 or 1 o'clock before the rain starts. And so all I did is I brought 2 Cliff Bars, and I brought a pumpkin spice, which is pretty good. That's a pretty good one. But the one that I really like is the peanut butter and honey with sea salt. That is really good. And so I brought that. And, of course, I brought my headlamp. And I did not bring my hat or my gloves. It's warm enough out here where I don't need it. I just have my thermals on, Columbia thermals on, and just a shirt. And I didn't wear any thermal pants. And other than that, though, I got my Bluetooth speaker. I've got some MP3s that I plan on listening to. But it's very, your day pack is pretty much just for your day. I did bring an umbrella this time, and I brought. I usually bring a poncho with me. I've never had to wear it, but this time, this poncho here is pretty good. It will easily cover me and the pack if it starts to rain. And so, but I brought the umbrella just as a little extra. It's a little small. It's not that much weight. And so as I'm drinking water, the weight's going to be lessening as I go. And so, and of course my trekking poles. These are good trekking poles. So far, I really haven't had any major use for them. Though I'm glad I have them, because like I said, I didn't know what this trail was like. But I have the Black Diamond Contour Shock is the type that I have. This area right here is supposed to be a shock absorber. I'm not real experienced in different types of trekking poles to know if this is really doing anything, but supposedly it's supposed to take some of the shock out of when you hit the ground. And so, but these are real good. They're not really that heavy, and they've been doing me very well. And so, but in a nutshell, for those of you that aren't experienced with trekking poles or don't know much about them, going to my playlist, I did put a fella who, he actually, I don't know if he's a salesman or just somebody that is some type of rep or whatever from the company, but he's actually talking about a different type of trekking pole, but he gives an instructional video on how to use trekking poles. And so he did an outstanding job. And so I added it in my playlist, and please watch that and learn about how to use these. If you use these the right way, they can be an extremely helpful tool. And it's like having another pair of legs. They balance you, and they can take some of the stress off of you, and help, and just in balance alone, crossing creeks. Have I tripped and fallen with these things? Yeah. Oh yeah. I still have, but it's not that much. It's not near as much that would happen if I didn't have them at all. And so they are definitely a good tool to have, and they can be used as a weapon if something was to come up on you. And so definitely good tools to have. And of course, I got my Z-pad. I'm gonna sit on this tree for a little bit, and but other than that, that's about it. It's like I said, it's just for day use. I am thinking about getting a bigger day pack. This is a North Face Chameleon, and it's pretty good. I don't know exactly the dimensions of it. I forgot. I've had this for a number of years now. It actually came with a bladder, and the bladder had a swivel where the hose connects to the bladder itself at the bottom. There's a swivel at that. I don't know if it's a North Face bladder or what have you. I still have the bladder, but anytime I had it inside the day pack, any pressure that got put on it, it would leak at where the swivel would be. And so I got so irritated with that. I'd be on a day hike, real excited about getting on the day hike, and I'd feel something wet on my rear end and reach back there and my hand's wet. And it's because the pressure on it. And it didn't seem to take too much pressure for that to happen. And so one of my other fellow hiker buddies, he gave me his Camelback, an extra Camelback that he had, and it doesn't have that swivel. And I'm sold on it. I think I have a Platypus also. Those are good bags also. And so I actually bought me some extra ones, and I've got them hanging where I keep all my gear at. And you know, I'll never go back with a swivel again, and I would really deter anybody from getting a bladder that has a swivel, especially if you're going to put any type of pressure on the bag, because you got it, you know, the bladder here is right between my back and all my gear, and so as I'm walking, you know, it's bouncing sometimes, and so that pressure is just, it makes those bags, it puts pressure on those bags, and it's basically just a great big water balloon is all it is. And so, but the Camelback seems to be doing just great. The Platypus is great. I like the Camelback because it has that screw top on it. You can screw it open. The Platypus style that I have, it's like a Ziploc. You open it up, pour your water in, and you seal it back, and then you turn it upside down, make sure there's no leaks. I did use it one time. I didn't have any issues with it, but it still kind of scares me that all it is just a Ziploc. I want something that can actually screw and screw nice and tight. And other than that, I got my Swiss Army knife. I always take that with me. It's on my side here. This is a Survivor. It actually, I don't know if you can see it or not, it's got all types of stuff in here. If I was to be out, I could make a fire. It's got a compass, and I tend to be a geek when it comes to this stuff, or a nerd. I don't know what you want to call it. But this thing has everything in it. And so I bought my son one, but I always carry it with me out here. And of course I got my Glock, and for protection. You know, it just, you know, never know if a rabid animal might come up running up on me, or a person. You know, I've been warned by rangers out here. I had a ranger one time warn me. He asked me, he says, "You are packing, aren't you?" I said, "Yes, sir, I am." And he says, "Good." He says, "Because I've run across some folks out here." I have it for the most part. Anybody that you come across out here is going to be nice. Fellow hikers, you know, especially the deeper you go. I mean, these are fellow people out here. Usually I have people ask me about creeks. You know, we'll ask how the trail's going. I've asked people how much further I have, if it's a trail I haven't been on before. We kind of look after each other, and sometimes I bring extra stuff with me. Like, you know I may not necessarily need my Katydin hiker, but somebody else may be out here for a long time, may have ran out of water. And I've actually met people that did run out of water, but they just went ahead and went to the store and got a gallon of water. I had a filter. I could have easily said, "Hey, you know, I'd be happy to, you know, filter some water for you out of the creek and help a fellow hiker out." And so I usually bring more food than I need. I mean, maybe somebody out here that may have a broke leg. Maybe they've been stuck out here. I may run across somebody out here that's almost at death's door. And so kind of be prepared for those emergency type services, because, you know, there's no Wi-Fi out here is hit and miss. And so people might say, "Well, you got the wrong plan, cell phone plan." It don't matter. I would not depend on a cell phone out here. You know, kind of come prepared. For little emergencies. I have a first aid kit with me, and so of course tell somebody what you're doing, and that way if you don't come back, you won't be out here that long. I've got stuff out here to make a fire if I should. I'm planning a day, but if for some reason I hurt myself, I can easily make a fire if I need to. The 12-mile hike that I took out here, I did not see one person the entire hike. And so that is rare. Usually I run across at least one person out here, but that 12-mile hike, I didn't run across not one individual out here. And so what if I would have broke my leg and been stranded at, let's just say, 8 miles in, and even if I hollered out, let's just say nobody saw me. And so, you know, I could have been in some deep trouble. And so it's just one of those things. You know, you kind of want to think about those things. You know, what would you do? Do you have a backup plan? And so there's satellite phones and different types of stuff like that. I'm not really too familiar with that, but that may be something I might have to look at in the future if I go in other areas where it's more secluded. And so I love the seclusion. So far since I've been here, I haven't seen anybody. I've seen some cars in a parking lot. That's it. And so, but at any rate, guys, I'm going to sit here just a little bit longer, drink me some water, and I'm going to get back on the trail. There's a neat little creek that I saw. It's right in this big opening where I just got confirmation straight ahead. Right there is the trail post saying, lo and behold, Supertree. So this, in fact, is a road That's where I came from, right over here. It keeps going down, crosses this creek here, or the creek crosses it, and the road kind of keeps going that way, but the trail goes on. So, I'm on the right track. So it's actually gonna start looking like an actual trail now. But this is a neat little creek, sounds good. I don't know if this is a junction or not. I don't really see anything else, no other markers, but it's telling me this is the way I came, and it does have those blue blazes on it, and so marked regularly, like with every 10-15 trees you'll see one. But then it ties into this road again. I don't know if this is that same road that kind of looped around. I haven't really been on that trail long. It really wasn't that long at all. And then I saw this, but that arrow is telling me to go that way. And so, but I thought I'd show you this. Just like the Dutchman's Creek Trail, you'll see these little information signs, and it kind of tells you a little bit about the area and stuff like that, what they're wanting to do. You know, they want to keep this place, you know, protected and stuff like that. But okay, let's go ahead and get back on this trail. Decided to take a little break. I was getting hungry. And wouldn't you know, I didn't bring any lunch. I just brought 2 Cliff Bars. I ate the peanut butter and honey with sea salt, and real good. Satisfied me. And drank some water. But I'm still on the Supertree. I haven't crossed over any. I should cross over Dutchman's Creek twice. And so once I hit the second crossing or junction, then I'll know I'm really close to Wood Run Road. And so, but really is nice out here. A lot of trees where I'm at. I decided to sit down and just rest my legs a little bit. Legs feel pretty good. But this right here is a really nice spot. Just hearing the woodpeckers and the animals, insects are flying around. Extremely. It's a good temperature though. I'm not sweating or anything like that. But it's really pretty out here. Really nice. The temperatures are really nice. I don't know if you can hear those birds up there. That reminds me of a story. One of my hiker buddies was telling me. He was on Wood Run Road, and he thought he heard a chickadee. You know how chickadees can make those little chattering noises? And so he was looking up in the trees. You know, he's like, where is that thing? I mean, it sounds close to me. And it was chattering and stuff. And, I mean, he was really looking around trying to find out where that bird was at. And he kept hearing it. He said, man, it's close. And he looked down, and it was a rattlesnake. It was a rattlesnake at his feet, real close to his feet. And he said, Donnie, he said, I thought I was going to lose my breakfast. And he said, I said, what'd you do? And he said, I just backed away a little bit, walked around it, and kept on going. He said, but it was a rattlesnake on Wood Run Road. He said it sounded like a bird chattering. And so that's just one of the reasons why I do not like having earplugs in my ears. You know, I could be sitting here on this log, on this tree here, with earbuds in my ears, and something come walk up right behind me, or chattering, or a rattlesnake, or whatever. Of course, I'm in the wintertime, so I don't have to necessarily worry about that. But of course, you got your warmer days. Here we're going to darn near here be hitting mid 70s, and so. But yeah, I thought you'd like to hear that story. Okay, I'm at my first junction here with Supertree and Dutchman's Creek. On the 12-mile hike, if those of you that have seen that, you'll remember me going right by here. The Dutchman's Creek is yellow. So if I was going to go Dutchman's Creek, I would get on this trail right here and just continue on. And of course, I'm going this way, and the Supertree is blue, and I can see them going through there. And so now I know exactly where I am on the map. And so, but let's continue on. Okay, I need to really make a note on this one. I saw this post here, and it says Supertree, and it has an arrow. It appears to be going straight, but there is a trail right here. And it's cockeyed. It's cockeyed a little bit on the road. So I'm going straight here. You can kind of see how it's cockeyed. It's actually pointing at this trail here. There's the blazes. That's what's so important about these blazes. There's one on this tree right here, and then there's another one on this tree. I was really confused because I've been on a road that looks like this for so long, and it just continually keeps on going until I looked at the map. When I looked at the map, it makes an absolute pinpoint turn. I mean, an abrupt turn. And I'll show that to you on the map. I should have shown it to you on the introduction. But there is, if you do see this, and it looks like the arrow's telling you to keep on going straight, actually it does turn here. This is an elbow. This isn't a junction. This is pretty much just an elbow where you're just going to, and we should junction back into the Dutchman's Creek Trail here in just a little bit. And so, but I was confused until I looked at the map. When I looked at the map, I was like, okay, now I see what it's talking about. It really ought to be a little bit better. They ought to have it turned, or have another one over here pointing in the direction of the trail. But they do have the blazes, so that is, there's no blazes this way. And so, but that's just how easy. They really need to mark this on the map. Whatever this thing needs to be called, they need to name it or show it or whatever, because most of the Supertree trail, most of it that I've been on has been a road. There's been some that's been a trail, but most of it that I've been on, it looks like a road. And so, at any rate, that can get very confusing to somebody that's not familiar with it. So I have no idea where this road goes to. I have no idea. And so it may just dead end. And so let's keep it going. Okay, I haven't been on this trail long. I literally probably could have a conversation with somebody on the last video I just took. But here's the junction. If you want to go Dutchman's Creek, there's that yellow blaze right there on that tree. You just keep on going. Or you can go this way. And the yellow blaze is right there. But there's the post for it. And so, but we're going Supertree right here. And here's the trail. And there's a blue blaze right about there. And so that was quick. So we're not really far from Wood Run Road. We're not really far at all. I have been walking for approximately 3.5 hours now. A little over 3.5 hours. I'm taking more breaks like I should, and I feel really good. And so, but I'm just going to keep on going, and I think some mosquitoes are out, and that's the only bad thing about some of this warm weather. Boy, they come right on out, and here I am, a big old buffet sitting out here. But hopefully I can get to a nice area and take a break, and right before I get back to the trailhead. Okay, confusion again. I don't know why they did it. It's not showing it on the map, but I got another junction. It's just a fork in a road. But here's Supertree over here and Dutchman's Creek over here. And so I'm not sure what this last one we were at was. I don't know. And so again, it's not following the topographical map. But important thing is that you pretty much just stay on the Supertree. We should be junctioning on Wood Run Road again. So I don't know. It's a little definitely confusing on how these go, and so not sure why they got two junctions. Actually, that would be three crossings that I've come across, and on the map it's only showing 2. And so, but at any rate, I still know where I'm going. Okay, something ain't right. See that big tree right there? Well, I've already passed it one time. This trail has looped me back around on what I originally junctioned off of the first time. I am confused. When I saw this big guy, I was staring at it when I went by the first time. I was making a mental note on how old it looks and how it's been around a long time with all these little trees around it. And here I am right back on it. I don't know if the Uwharrie has changed the trail system somehow, but it's actually has looped me back around on this. And so I got to go back. I got to go back to where I came from, where I just junctioned off of. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Somehow or another, I have missed something somewhere. And, but I got to go back and try to catch it. And it's getting cloudier and cloudier, and that don't look good either. So the rain is supposed to start somewhere between 12 and 1. And I am pushing close to 11 o'clock right now. So let's see what I can find out. Well, guess where I am? Remember when I was talking about that real sharp elbow? Make sure you turn there. Well, evidently, there is some confusion about that. This trail really just looped right back around where I mentioned where that big tree was at. About that real old tree. I saw a bike rider, and he stopped and talked to me for a little bit, and I asked him some questions about the trail. I told him I've never been on the Supertree Trail before, and but I saw the junction for Dutchman's Creek Trail, the one that I was actually on when I did the 12-miler. And I'm telling you right now, if I'd have known what I know now, I'd have taken Dutchman's Creek all the way up to the 6-mile mark and then just walked Wood Run Road back. But he is telling me that this is the reason, the way I came. And this is where I was like, I don't know if, you know, if this is the trail or this is the trail. Where he's telling me this is the way I need to go. And this will run me into Wood Run Road. So, if that's the case, then, again, it's more confusing than ever. But I'm going to go ahead and take this road here, and I'll just have to make some notations on my topographical map so I know about this in the future. So that way I don't get confused and turned around and stuff. Okay, since I've gotten on this road here, taking that fella's directions, this is the second blue blaze that I've seen on this trail. I think two trees in about, roughly a quarter of a mile that had these blue blazes on it. That's messed up. It's definitely screwed up, but I will make my notations on the map. But it's definitely, again, the Supertree appears to be nothing more mainly than, they call it a double trail, or basically a place where you could drive a car. I've passed several bikers, people, you know, riding bicycles, and so it appears now I'm back on track again, headed towards Wood Run. And so it is getting cloudier and cloudier, and so hopefully I can get out here before the rain starts. Thought I'd show you this right before I get back on the trail real quick. Look at this tree. It ain't much holding it. This tree right here. Right here. Look like it ain't got too much life in it. But there ain't much holding that tree on. It's grabbing some of those little branches, but it look like it's pretty decayed, this tree right here. I guess the right storm and this sucker's gonna come down. Hopefully nobody be underneath it when it comes. But just like many trees out here, the ground is just so saturated. These trees are toppling. But that looks like it's a recent topple though. Okay, another junction. Now this is what he told me. There is Dutchman's Creek. That's where I came out before. And I just crossed and went right on through there. He told me this road would turn into a single trail for Supertree. And there it is right there. It just goes right on in. So that should run me into Wood Run Road. Again, I have no clue what this road is. But it is extremely confusing here. And so maybe on the map I can kind of clarify things up once I get home and get it on the computer and stuff and kind of diagram it out. But it's definitely does not match the map that I have. So, okay, that guy told me that I would see a great big pile of gravel, and there it is. That trail I had just gotten on the last video, it brought me right back out to that road again. It just basically just made a loop right back on the road again. If I'd have kept going straight, I'd have been where I am now. That sounds confusing, and it is confusing, but this is the Supertree, and right across the road there is the Kiawe. And looking at the map, I know exactly where this spot is, and it does match the map here. But I'm going to tell you right now, that trail, this road here, does not match how that trail is shaped. It shows it making a very sharp elbow, which it does not. It does not make a sharp elbow. But it is really getting gray. This right here is Wood Run Road. Right here. It just keeps on going. That's Wood Run Road right here. and it's not marked. Surprise, surprise. But that's what it is. And so I need to go back this way, and there's where the 3 mile mark is on the Uwharrie Trail is where I usually cut in to go to one of my favorite camping spots, which is about 4 miles in on the Uwharrie Trail. But there's a real nice area I can take a break in, and so I'm gonna take a break, put up the hammock, and hopefully put up the hammock. I may not. It's the rain is supposed to start between 12 and 3, and it's already a little after 11 now, and so I just need to kind of use my time wisely, you know, and still relax though. I need to take a break because I've been really hopping it with all the backtracking and stuff. I'm easily gonna put in 7 miles today, and so let's get back on this road here and get to a nice little stopping point. Well, it's starting to drizzle, so there'll be no hammock, and I don't think I'm gonna get out the stove. I think I'm gonna just sip on some water here and rest my legs. That's the main thing. I'm not really that hungry. It can wait. I'm not really that far from the trailhead. I'm probably close to 3 miles, guesstimating. It's close. And so I know that sounds like a long way, but again, without a lot of ups and downs and hazardous type of trekking, I can go about 2 miles an hour. So we're looking at about an hour and a half. The rain is starting to pick up. It looks like I'm gonna have to put on my poncho. And so, but overall, it's been a good hike. If it wasn't for all that turning around, I'd have got here a whole lot sooner, and I'd been able to take a nice, good break. And so, but that's part of it. That's trekking life. That's hiking life, backpacking, and always expect the unexpected. And so, but I'll tell you one thing, I'll never forget it. I'm gonna make some good notes on my map, and so I'll know how this trail goes. Then, so you're seeing also why I like to day hike these trails before I backpack in them. Kind of familiarize myself with them. And so, but this tree that I'm sitting under right now is shading me from some of the rain, the drizzle. And so, but again, I did enjoy it. But the rain is just about right on the dot. They said right around 12 o'clock, and so I'm a little after 11:30, I think pushing 11:40. And they said around noon. And so that's exactly what's happening. So I got my poncho, so on the rain. I'll listen to some MP3s on the way back. And I do have my umbrella too. And so I'm prepared. No big deal. It got my hot tea. That's about all it got. And maybe a little bit of hammock sitting. But I'm still glad I got to come out. That's one good thing about, you know, knowing some of these trails, knowing about how long it takes to do it. So maybe if you don't have a whole day, you can just take part of a day, you know, or a quarter of the day. Do something. Do something. And so I'm tired of wiping them off the chart and just say, well, if I don't get a whole day, I'm not going to get any day. If I can grab whatever I can, I'll take it. And if I got to trek back in some rain, well, it'll teach me to be prepared next time. And it'll also test my equipment. It'll test what works, what don't work, what I need to change, what I need to get. And so all it does is make hikers better hikers, better backpackers. And so I'm not worried about it. As far as the clothing that I got, it's all, the shoes are waterproof. The clothing, if it gets wet, it just beads on my clothing. My thermals, it's a quick dry. So I'm not, worried about all that. My hair will stay wetter longer than my clothes will. Well, do I look like Bruce Willis from Unbreakable? I can't wait till that Mr. Glass movie comes out. That's going to be so freaking cool. I don't know if you can hear the rain. Listen. It's coming down. It's coming down better. But I got my, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I got my poncho on, and it's covering me pretty good. I need to get the back of me a little bit better. But for the most part, it's covering the backpack up pretty good. That's the main thing. That's just my trekking poles. I don't need them. And so I just need to work on getting the rest of that covered up. And so, but I'm going to get on the trail here. My legs feel pretty good. And so, again, really nice. It was a real good, it was a real good hike. And so this all just comes part of the adventure. The last time I was out here, it was nighttime I was battling with. Getting back for nighttime. Here I'm battling with the rain. But I can deal with that. I can deal with either one of them. It's just coming prepared, having a plan. And so let's get on back to the car. It's coming down a little bit better now. I'm just about there. I can hear the cars. And so, the glasses are starting to fog up. The heat from this poncho's collecting in it. But at any rate, let me get to this car. I'll see you at the car. It's, as you can see my window here, it's raining. It's raining. I'm glad I still took the trip. And the Supertree Trail on the topographical map definitely needs some work, but they do have a map on the trailhead here. I was checking it out where the road that I took, they've added that in there. They added that in there. Basically, that elbow, that real sharp elbow that I spoke about, well, they've connected that road and made it to where you can either take that sharp elbow back in where it interconnects with the Dutchman's Creek Trail a few times. And so they showed that on this map here. And so the one that I got is old. It's an old topographical map. And so, but the one that they have here, I'm gonna see if I can get that in PDF form, or at least try to get a copy of that. But it's I like the topographical maps. I just think they're sharp looking. But it don't mean a hill of beans if they're not correct. And so there's some software out there I know that people can get. But in a nutshell, guys, it was a good hike. My legs feel good. IT band did fantastic. And so it's just one of those things. I have my good days and bad days with it. I just need to continually exercise, train, and keep myself as active as possible. And so, of course, age is creeping up on me. I'm less than a year of turning 49, and so that may not mean a lot to some folks, but 49 ain't 29. And so it's just one of those things. And so, but this is something that anybody in any age can do. And so, I hope you enjoyed the video, and please look forward to more. There's going to be more areas I'm going to be going into. There's a whole nother side of of the Uwharrie I've never been in before, and so there's a lot of trails that I want to check out, and I'm gonna do videos on every one of those also, so you'll be able to see that too. And come along with me. All right, we'll see you later, y'all. Take care. Bye bye.